Hey, what's up, everybody? It is your girl JoJo, and I'm here with the review for Ready to Love. This is season 10, episode 5. I hope you guys are doing good today. I am doing well. Yes, I did miss last week. I should have at least said something. Normally, I do. I got to get back in the swing of making my announcements, but I was in New Orleans last weekend. It was my full intent to do the video, but I got back from New Orleans and I was just tired. I didn't do it. And then the next day rolled by and the next day rolled by. So that was my bad. I am back on top of things this week and we are talking about Ready to Love. I'm going to talk a little bit about last week in the beginning of this video, and then I'll jump straight into episode 5. Okay, I want y'all to keep in mind that I'm watching the episode 5, as I review it. So going back to episode 4, though, this connection, while I remember Cam talking to her at the mixer, I am very interested to see what's about to happen here. Because Cam, he speaks as if he wants a woman that's more like Rose, but he's also very intrigued. You could tell by the way his eyes light up when he's around Sahara. I think he wants to calm her down or something. Like he wants to see if he has the for lack of a better word, the masculinity to bring out a calmer side of her or something. But I don't know. I'm interested to see where this goes, but definitely noticed it last week as he was talking to her during the elimination. He was like, yeah, you got to calm all that down because I'm definitely interested. I was like, okay, Cam. Child, that little elimination lit a little fire under Cam. This is another connection I didn't see coming. And Ready to Love, real quick, don't do that bootleg pool party no more. Now, this is not me saying nothing about that man's house. He had a lovely home. Okay, I don't have a pool at my house, so very nice. But what I'm saying is we don't want to see the Ready to Love the Ready to Love pool party usually includes everybody, number one, and it's usually tastefully done at a hotel or a very nice Airbnb. So I'm hoping they're not using his house as like a replacement for the normal pool party. I want the normal pool party. I want people to get tipsy. I want them to start getting possessive over each other. I want some inappropriate conversation going on. That's what we see at a Ready to Love pool party. So the fact that we had to have it over here at somebody's house with these hot dogs and hamburgers, like, don't do it again, Will. Okay. You've been gone long enough to address whatever budget cuts you needed to make. But this is a thing that I didn't see coming. And I just want to let y'all know, when I cropped this picture, I had to crop something out, if you know what I mean, on Eddie. But I mean, you go back and watch the episode. I'm moving on. The elimination of True was much needed and well deserved. I don't know what True think this is. True, I don't know what you think this is. You cannot be showing up to dates late, then have an attitude when you get to the date about what somebody hasn't done. Y'all stop begging these men to call you. Stop begging these men to call you and text you. See, I'm already getting preachy. We ain't even 10 minutes into the review. But stop begging them to call. If they don't call, if they don't text, we're not even bringing it up. I'm just going to swoop, move around. All right? There's other men to talk to. True, I don't know. I think the elimination was justified because not only was she acting funny about the whole calling and texting thing, but then when somebody asked her age, she was acting funny about that. And, it's not like she's really trying to let anybody get to know her. And she kind of was up on her high horse just a little bit, in my opinion. I don't know what True want to do. And I think True lying about her age. Okay. I'm just going to put that out there. All right. That's really all I got to say about last week. That whole poly conversation, I'll keep my eye on that. I don't really know how I feel about that whole thing. And Rose and Cam and they date, I felt like I needed to close my eyes for some of it, or at least close my ears. Y'all church girls always freaky. Y'all church girls always a little bit freaky. Rose. Sitting up in there talking about them oysters and all that. But she did it very tastefully. Lots of sexual innuendo, but very, very tasteful. So I got to give my girl that. They're out at some, looks like some type of market, doing some bootleg electric slide. And now everybody is just kind of ducked off with the people that they are interested in, doing a little shopping. They're shopping for scents. And Cam says it kind of feels like I'm out with my crush. Like he really likes Rose. He really wants to pay her some attention, but he's also interested in that little feisty Sahara situation as well. But he really does like Rose. And so they're picking out little smell goods for each other. Very cutesy, very cutesy. Are these two interested in each other? Because I hadn't had any indication that they were, but maybe they are. But Hussein is 42. He has a 6-year-old. And I believe she's 40. And they talking about all these kids they want to have, as many as God will give her. Now, y'all already know my opinion on 40-some-year-olds talking about having all these kids. I know technology has advanced. I know it has. I'm not saying nothing else. Because, everybody want to have day one. I get it. Okay, so I'm going to tread lightly here because this is I know it's a sensitive subject. And I'm only 11 minutes into the episode, so we still have this story to develop, but let's just talk about what we see so far. So Cisco is in between homes, and he has revealed this to Taye. He's at a hotel right now. He likes her, so I guess he felt like he wanted to open up and be vulnerable with her and be honest. And while I don't have a problem with the vulnerability, I don't. But he says he feels like Taye pulled away from him after that. And yes, rightfully so. And I'm going to explain. But first, I want to applaud Naeem for encouraging him and uplifting him. I wasn't sure what Naeem was about to do, honestly. I thought he was going to be like, you know what, do like me, bro. Just get you a baby mama and then get her pregnant, move in with her. I'm kidding. But he actually poured into him and said it was very important for him to do that. He brought up how God can put pressure on you sometimes and he wants you to lift that weight. It's like working out. He said that God will put you in certain positions where some people will stay and some people go. And the people who stay, those are the ones who matter. Those are the ones that's going to be with you. This is part of your story. This is part of your journey. All the right things, right? And he said something that I really agree with. He said that it's very important for him to really uplift people because you never know their situation, especially with our Black men, right? And I really appreciated him saying that because I personally believe that what is missing with a lot of men is that there is no support from other men. Other men are not supportive. Other men are not uplifting. Other men are not embracing them. Other men are not telling them, I've been through the situation and this is how I got out of it. And so a lot of times they feel alone. They might feel misunderstood and they go to the woman that they're dating or the woman that they like or a sister or a cousin. And sometimes it does get a little funny. Things do get a little, because we may not, as a woman, I may not understand exactly what you might be going through. I don't know what's going on in your head, but another man may understand that very well. And he can tell you the steps that he took to get out of it. Because we don't, even though we're all human, we're all having a human experience. A lot of times we don't think the same and we don't move the same. And the game can change as much as it won't, but some things just remain the same. A man seeing a woman homeless is not going to be the same way a woman sees a man who is homeless. It's not going to be the same. Okay. And I know somebody gonna be like, well, that's not fair. Well, baby, I didn't make the rules. I'm just part of the game at this point. I'm a hoe. You the pimps. Okay. I didn't create the game. I really didn't. We really did not create the game. This is just how it goes. And it has a lot to do with how a man feels about himself when he is not where he needs to be. If you're not careful, that can be taken out on you. You could be used terribly. And the same thing for men. You could be used terribly. Things could be taken out on you. A lot of times a woman is very grateful when you help her out of a tight spot, but you ain't got to. Ain't nobody saying you got to. I don't think anybody should be dating while they're in between homes. I just don't. Man or woman. When I was going through some rough situations, I was not dating. I just wasn't, because I needed to focus on getting my finances up. I needed to focus on what was going to be the best thing for my life. And I had the support of other women. They were helping me out, and it wasn't men helping me out. I wasn't, sponging off of somebody. Other women were genuinely helping me. And I try to pour back into those women now that I am in a better situation. Before I moved to Houston, I lived with my friend's sister for, I think, about 6 months so that I could save some money because I wanted to move. So I definitely had the help and support of other girls in my life, other women in my life. And I would like men to be that sort of support to one another. You see your brother struggling, help him out, uplift him, talk to him, tell him what you did, tell him about some ideas, tell him how he can maybe make some more money. Tell them about some housing stuff you know of. Help them out. Damn. Help them out. But I don't think Taye was wrong for distancing herself. I think she was well within her right. And I know some people will be like, but you could miss out on a really great guy, or, you could find another one. All right. I want women to stop operating in scarcity, especially Black women. Stop. You can get another one. You can get another one. You can find another one. You can get another one. Because that's a lot to deal with. We're not just talking about, oh, I got an apartment, but I don't have a lot of money to take you out on dates. We're talking about you don't have housing secure for yourself. And I think he said he didn't have a car, but I'm not sure. These are major life things to be going through at the age of 42. And you need to lock in and focus. And I know it's nice to have a company of a woman. Believe me, I do. I'm a woman. And I know it's nice to have the company of a woman and somebody there to support you. But this is why I say, perhaps if men supported each other a little bit more, you wouldn't be trying to lean on somebody that you're dating or somebody that you're interested in to feel that encouragement or to feel that support, because that is a lot on somebody. And honestly, when people are down bad, it's really not attractive. When I had first, my ex, some years back, we didn't date that long, but I was really down bad at that time. And I knew I was unattractive. I knew I was coming off unattractive. I knew it. And I wasn't comfortable in that relationship, struggling the way that I was. Because when I don't have no money, I am not a happy camper. Okay. And he wasn't doing well either. So we both were just really needing to skirt. We need to be on our way. We needed to be on our way, and we did. Thank God. So I don't know. I just think he probably needs to lock in and focus on that. And I know it's difficult, and you would love the touch of a woman and the feel of a woman as you're going through. But maybe let that lack force you to go even harder is all I can say. But what did y'all think? I mean, would y'all give a brother a chance in between homes? Or what's up? Okay, y'all gonna hear my car and the wind and all that in the background because I'm on the move now. So I think that Taye is ultimately going to end up pursuing this connection. And I think Taye is going to pursue this connection for reasons that a lot of us have pursued connections that went against our better judgment. I'm going to speak for myself. I have done it because I didn't want to look superficial. I didn't want to look like the girl that wasn't giving a guy a chance. I didn't want to look like the woman who, wasn't taking the opportunity to be with a really great guy. And I want Cisco to understand, when people take a step back, is to think and consider if this is something they want to do. And the best thing you can do is not push them. Because he was like, well, I'm not going to be quiet about it. Well, she already knows how you feel, but give her the space to decide what it is that she wants to do. This is no different than somebody being like, I got 3 kids that I didn't tell you about before, or I got an incurable STD. Like, you have to really think about whether or not you want to take these type of things on. And I know his situation is temporary, but it's still a big deal. So I think he needs to give her some time to consider and think about what she wants to do and not push it. But I think ultimately she's going to end up pursuing it. I think that women, don't be afraid to be the bad guy, especially when you're a really nice girl like Taye is. And a lot of people have probably gotten in her head, like, you've been focused on your career. You need to be trying to get you a good man. There are men with housing available, and they are good. There are, that's just the bottom line of it. I do hate that he's in this situation, but just because he's in this situation and he likes her doesn't mean that she needs to date him. He's got things that he has to focus on, and I know it's hard. I know life is hard, baby. You ain't got to tell me. But you don't always get a soft woman to lay up on while you're going through it. And that's just the bottom line. So I think he needs to get that secured. What would you guys do if you were Taye? Would you recommend it? If you're feeling some type of way in your body, I always say, just say no. All of the times that I can think back where I felt some type of way inside of my body and I went against my better judgment, I regretted it. Okay, now, Cooley and Eddie, child, I don't know what to say about these two. So I think Cooley was tipsy. I think she was a little tipsy. Her eyes looked dazed, like she had been drinking. And she got a little lit at the pool party. At the block party, child. She done threw her legs around Eddie, and she done tried to kiss him. And he was just like, whoa, whoa, whoa. baby, I am a slow moving man. I don't do all of that, okay? I don't know what you're used to. But I don't do all of that. And so he was just like, it's really too much. And he didn't want to be disrespectful to his other connections. Angie is over there looking like, well, why is Cooley all on my man? Angie, I'm a little worried about you because you do kind of get territorial early, but Cooley was doing a lot. Now, I'm not denying that. But she thought it was a lot. Eddie even thought it was a lot. Seemed like everybody kind of agreed it was a lot. And yeah, he gonna have to do something about that. Nephew Tyler Perry pulls up and pops out, and I think didn't he have Jacqueline with him? Y'all know I'll be ready to turn the TV off anytime Jacqueline comes about and Nephew Tyler Perry get to lying about them years that they've been together. I just really be done with Nephew Tyler Perry and Nut lying, because they have not been together. They've been together 23 years, but they ain't been married 23 years. And all of us with the Ready to Love tea, we all know that to be true. Okay? But we gonna let him and Jacqueline live. But we all know what the dealio is. Okay, so Nephew Tyler Perry is going to play a game with the people. It's like a Guess Who type of game, and we find out some very shocking things about some of the people. A little bit of freak factor going on. I would hate to do all that for the Nephew Tyler Perry, because he like they daddy at this point. But we found out Naeem had sex in a funeral home because he had a body he had to go get, but he also had a body he had to get on. So he had sex in a funeral home. Francisco, I think he had sex on the beaches of Puerto Rico. What else? We found out Khalil liked to lick a little. I think they said feet, but they kept bleeping it out like it was cool. Can I say coochie on here, y'all? They kept bleeping it out like it was the C word, but I was just like, I think they saying toes. He liked to lick toes. Child, Ready to Love, quit trying to be nastier than what it really is. I really do think they said toes. Cam's was that he once had a woman. Dog, y'all, I cannot remember. But I remember Jay's was he had a woman praying to his member one time. I said, Jay, what kind of what you was giving out that day? But he said he was with this girl. She was into affirmations, and I do know women who into that. And she was affirming him, and he was just like, yes. Woo! Y'all better go ahead. I'm sure it was others that I am forgetting. I feel like Fritz had one that I didn't believe. But anyway, whoever wins the guesses is going to get a date of their choice with the man, with the man that they want. They gonna take their man out on a date. So Sahara ends up being the winner, y'all. And why did she take Fritz on a date? I was confusion. I said, did you go on a date with him strictly to get him caught up? Because you guys do not have the chemistry, in my opinion, to be going out on no date. But they went on a date, and it was a disaster. Date was terrible in every sense of the word. It was absolutely terrible. I do not understand why she took him, unless she was just trying to get him caught up. They do like a little foot bath. He's late, so he already not interested. And he's trying to convince his mind, I guess, or the audience that he might be interested. He ain't interested in that girl. So Sahara tells him, well, he tells her, actually, that when he first came in the process, he wasn't really taking it all that serious. And see, right there, he should have got kicked off the show. Like, all the producers should have came up and said, you know what, you can go home. Because why is he there if he's not taking it serious and he's admitting to not taking it serious? So Sahara tells him that they all peeped that he wasn't taking it seriously and that he better shape up and fly right. And so you was really playing in my face, because when you told me you wasn't taking it seriously, you really wasn't taking it seriously. You told me you was, and you thought you had it like I was tripping. You know how Sahara talk. So he says that he don't really feel in Sahara. She's too much for him. She gives him some vibes that he doesn't like, whatever. She was right, though, when she called you out. And Sahara is just being herself. If you don't like it, you could have turned the date down, I think. I mean, that would have put a target on your back, but I think you would have did better doing that. Yeah, this episode didn't really have too much going on. So we finally at Eliminations again. It happened very quickly, not too much going on the show. So the ladies who come up that are good, Rose is good with a couple of people. I think Fritz and Cam. Sahara is good with Cam. Who else? Kira is good with Jay. Deanna, I keep saying her name wrong. She is good with Eddie. I think Khalil is feeling her. I even think Francisco might have said something about her. Of course, Taye and Francisco are a thing. And I think a couple of other guys are still liking Taye as well. So all of these women are safe, right? Who comes up in the bottom is Cooley and Sahara again. Rocky also comes up. It's kind of being more of like a homegirl type of vibe. I forgot to mention that she did a poem for Naeem, and I was embarrassed for her. Like, the poem wasn't bad, but I was just embarrassed for her. And Rocky, what's going on with you, girl? You know, while we talking about you, what's going on? This is Ready to Love. You need to show up camera ready. I understand you might have a lot of work on you, but you need to. It just always looked like she threw something on and said, time to film today. And I didn't accept it when Jay didn't have his hair braided. So I'm going to have to tell you, like, what's going on with your coif? You curl your hair. In the confessionals, you look very cute. I ain't even saying you got to put makeup on. Curl your hair. And if you're going to wear these really fitted dresses, y'all don't fight me for this. Okay. I wear a shaper with everything. You got to smooth that shit out. You got to smooth it out. Can I say that? You got to smooth it out, queen. You got to. So anyway, those are the ladies in the bottom. So Eddie says how uncomfortable he was when Cooley tried to give him that kiss. And then as it's going on, you kind of hear when Sahara's name comes up, you hear Fritz, when Eliminations come up. They didn't even say names yet. He was like, we got to get Sahara out of here. Y'all trying to get Sahara out of here. And so Cam hears it, but he hears it more than once. And finally, Cam is like, you know what? I done had it. You ain't finna talk about my firecracker in front of me. All right. Now, if you don't like somebody, keep that amongst you, but don't try to influence everybody. So they go into a little back and forth in which Fritz is just like, oh, this is locker room problems. I don't have time for any of this. And Francisco was like, but you was over there trying to chime in and trying to talk about who we should eliminate. I was like, yeah, Cam. Yeah, Cam. Yeah. Defend yours. I'm telling y'all lit a fire under Cam when he thought he was going home. So he ain't like that. Okay, don't talk about minds. Worry about you, don't talk about minds. Okay? So anyway, it's time to decide who is going to go home. So they get everybody together. They get Sahara. They get Cooley. And I feel like they get Rocky. That was the third person. And then the show goes off. We do not know who is going to get eliminated. So I guess we'll find out next week. Who do y'all think is going to be? I think it's going to be Rocky. Maybe. I don't know. It's a toss-up because only one guy is really feeling Sahara. But I don't think anybody is feeling Rocky that I know of. I didn't hear her come up in anybody's faves. She kind of is giving more the homie vibes, but they might give her another chance. But I don't know. Cooley is coming off as a girl who is gorgeous, but has no substance. But I think Jay liked her. I think he enjoyed his date with her. So she got somebody. I don't know. I think it's going to be Rocky. It could be Sahara. Y'all let me know what y'all think. What did y'all think about this episode? Child, they could have kept it. Come on with it. Now, y'all moving slow. I'm getting tired. Let's go. It's episode 5. We supposed to be full steam ahead at this point. We supposed to have had an argument, a scandal. And then did y'all hear Cam when Sahara was just like, I heard you been fighting for me. I said, who told Sahara that? Production, are y'all being messy? Because it's supposed to just be the guys in the room. So who told her that? And Cam, you know whatever goes on in the vault, stay in the vault. You should have told her. Who said that? Here come Cam talking about, yeah, it was definitely some people trying to campaign for you leave. I said, Lord, they spilling. See, she ain't gonna leave because of this technicality right here. Because y'all not supposed to be talking about what goes on in the vault. It's not allowed. We've been watching this a long time. It's not allowed. We know that. That's a flagrant foul. Okay, that'll get you put out the game. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all thought about this episode. I need more. Like, comment, and subscribe. See you for the next one. Bye.